Alright guys, so this is video 2, take 3. My name is Brendan. Hopefully this is gonna get better as the semester goes on, but this is my girlfriend Teddy. She's playing Switch. Say hi. Alright, so first off, we're gonna start with the definition of disasters. FEMA gives a definition, an event that results in property damage or deaths or injuries in a community. Okay. Also, I thought something that was interesting, kind of important. There was also a quantitative disaster definition, which quantitative, just think like numbers, quantity. You know what I mean? But the definition was an event that causes at least 100 deaths or 100 injuries, or at least $1 million in economic damage. Okay? So some other key terms that I noted, I thought they in the slides in the PowerPoint, I saw something. It was the interpretive voice, which I thought this was super interesting. And basically what that is it's the community's version of a disaster. I think the quote said something about sociologists will learn what a disaster is if you listen to what the community says. So I just thought that was really interesting. If you take a step back and instead of like trying to give this super kind of formal definition, if you just take a step back and let the people that are actually dealing with the disasters like let you know what it is, then it's very self-explanatory. They will let you know what the actual disaster is. Some other stuff in the chapter 2 reading, stakeholders. These are people who think that they have something to gain or that they have something at stake in the decision of certain policies. So I'm assuming they would be talking about like emergency management policies. And then they also started to talk about community stakeholders, and that gets broken down into social, economic, and political stakeholders. Social stakeholders would be like actual people and actual households. So like you and me, like people on the bottom. That's like the very bottom level of the chain. And then the next step up would be economic stakeholders. These are going to be businesses, okay? And then political stakeholders, and that's like your government. It's going to start from like municipalities, like the town or the city, and then you're going to go up to like county, state, federal, and so on. So, what else? I think in terms of key terms, that was probably it. Muddy points. They kept saying something about hazard mitigation. Honestly, I don't know what that means. I'm sure I could Google it and figure it out, but I figured somebody could probably get back to me and let me know what that is. Also, they were talking about characteristics of disasters, and the first characteristic they were talking about was length of forewarning. I'm not quite sure what they meant by that. Maybe it was like the time, like how long before it actually happened that they knew it was coming. I'm not sure. Okay. What else we got? Discussion question. Okay, so the discussion question that I actually wanted to talk about involved disaster resilient communities, and I actually forgot to say something about that. Disaster resilient communities are communities that are able to bounce back and sustain tragedies such as disasters, you know what I mean, things that that we're talking about. And they're able to do this without external help. So they're kind of self-sustaining and they're able to deal with this stuff on their own. So my discussion question was, how practical is it to set up these disaster resilient communities on top of other social disparities? So I'm sure for plenty of places across America, it would be easy. Plenty of wealthy places across America, it could be easy to set up these communities and make them self-sustaining for certain disasters. However, there's plenty of communities across America that also, they're not going to be able to do that per se. You know what I mean? Even if they are given the tools, at one point, are they going to be able to continually sustain that without continual outside help? That's my question. So, I think that's all for now. I'll catch you guys next week.